our Honorable Chief Minister, Shri Conrad K. Sangma, who is with us, joining us virtually for this very important and significant event, the Bhashini Rajam State Workshop signing ceremony. Our Chief Secretary, who added his dose of sweet to the proceedings, Donald P. Walang, Principal Secretary, Arts and Culture, Frederick Harkongor, Mr. Bakshi, Commissioner and Secretary, Mr. Amitav Nag, CEO, Digital India Bhashini Division, whom I had the good occasion of having interacted with him before the start of this program to get into the fundamentals of today's program. Officers from the NIC, the Department of Arts and Culture, friends, are the President and members of the Khasi Author Society, led by Barok as the President, who has also been rocking the boat to get the Khasi language included in the 8th schedule. And we have also been partnering with them. Members of the Achik Literature Society, officers from various departments, students, research scholars, members of the academia, ladies and gentlemen. It is also with a lot of pride that I stand here donning the traditional rindia, the Khasi shawl, which has just got the GI tag a couple of months back. And today's workshop and the signing of the MOU, as has rightly been pointed out by our Chief Secretary, would certainly be a sweetener in our path of growth for both these ancient languages of Meghalaya. Khasi, which is the only surviving Austro-Asiatic language in the country, originating from the Mon Khmer root, and Garo, which belongs to the Tibeto-Burman origin. And yes, to complement to what DP has just said, when you look at Bhashini, there is also Shini Babha, Shini Basneo, good sugar and bad sugar. Good sugar, which is natural sugar, and bad sugar, which is processed food. So I'm sure which one the state of Meghalaya would opt for, and why we are here partnering with Bhashini Rajam in the persona of Mr. Amitav Nag. It goes without saying that the entire effort is to ensure that we take administration and the government to the last person in the last mile across Meghalaya. As DP has already pointed out, some of the letters of the Khasi alphabet were not to be found in technology that has been developed so far. The N that he mentioned, for instance, can only be found in Spanish words like señor. When you listen to Bob Dylan, then you hear N, señor, señor. And these two languages have added color to the entire wealth of languages, both recognized and unrecognized, that are spoken and used across the Indian subcontinent. It is a matter of pride that these languages have survived the test of time our ancestors have trekked to these hills with these languages. For instance, in the context of the Khasi language, one language was picked up from Myanmar and Khmer from Cambodia, and how in that long trek, which must have taken hundreds of years, the language continues to not only survive, but to thrive. And today it is available in Braille, it is available in Google Translate, it is available now in, hopefully in the new form, the new technology, which this mission is embarking upon. I'd like to stress here that to preserve, to uplift the use of these languages would certainly require the use of technology. Mr. Amitav has mentioned that this will require the use of artificial intelligence, and the co-creation, which he mentions. I think I should also make a point here that when we co-create, it should be a happy marriage between artificial intelligence and the nationalism of these two ancient communities. The Khasi and Garo languages are also significant because there is a lot that is common. For instance, the fact that two towns, the city of Shillong is named after a deity, Lei Shillong, and likewise Tura is named after a deity, Dura. And both these languages reflect on something which is intrinsic to these two indigenous communities: a land, language, and lineage. In Khasi, Khndo, Khtien, and Gurkha. And to Garo, land would be Achek, language would be Achiku, and lineage would be Achong. So these are ancient concepts, the bedrocks upon which these two languages are based, and to take these forward with the use of technology to ensure that we have access, that our villagers and people spread all across these hills have access to various government interventions and programs with the use of technology should ultimately be our goal. And I'm confident in the Department of Social Welfare, for instance, we will be distributing smartphones by the middle of May this year. So our workers at the grassroots level would then be in a position to also explain the nuances of technology by incorporating these indigenous languages of Meghalaya into the form of technology. So I wish today's workshop the very best. I'm sure that a lot of ideas would emerge from the discussions, and these would ultimately help strengthen not only the use of these languages, not only taking the administration and government close to the doorsteps of our people, but ultimately would also take our case forward for our languages getting recognized and included under the 8th Schedule to the Constitution of India. I wish today's deliberations the very best, and I hope that with the presence of our Honorable Chief Minister, who's joining us from Delhi, we should be able to take this mission forward and ensure that Meghalaya does reap all due benefits from this very important technological intervention. Thank you, Kublai, Mithila, Jai Hind.